With PlayStation's recent moves, the idea of true console exclusive is changing fast. Today, Sony willingly publishes titles on Xbox Series S and X, such as HellDivers 2. Then there's also release of LEGO Horizon Adventures on Nintendo Switch, and licensing big franchises like Freedom Wars and Hot Shots Golf to Bandai Namco for Switch ports. PC, well, PlayStation has shipped most of its first-party hits there too, usually with a 1, perhaps 2-year delay, though sometimes even a date-to-date with its live service titles. Now, it wasn't always like this. In the past, Sony's PlayStation division held exclusives tightly, and if it wasn't in-house, it was a second-party deal or a long-term contract with a third party. Those partnerships came with strict windows, often locking games to PlayStation forever, unless Sony eventually decided to let them roam free. Now, with so many titles appearing beyond the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4, what does that mean for Sony as a business and for us as a console owners? Now, if you bought a PlayStation 5 hoping for unique games you can't play anywhere else, you might be surprised. A few months ago, I actually made a video arguing that PlayStation 5 is thriving without true exclusives. Most of its marquee titles also hit PC, and sometimes older even hardwares. Yet gamers still rushed out to buy a PlayStation 5 version. Why? Because of many players, consoles are about convenience and community. They want a living room experience, the optimized performance, the simple UI, and the friend lists that comes with the PlayStation Network. Market data backs this up as well. PlayStation 5 launch titles and mid-generation releases have seen strong sales on PS5 compared to the PC or PS4 counterparts. And by the time these games arrive on PC, the initial excitement has faded and sales taper off. Meanwhile, PS5 hardware continues to sell at the pace nearly matching the PlayStation 4's. As of this month, PS5 trailed PS4 by only about 1.2 million units when aligned on their respective launch timelines. An impressive feat given the global chip shortages and supply challenges Sony faced. Even more telling are the engagement metrics. According to Sony's quarterly reports, PS5 owners are spending more hours in games, subscribing to more services, and spending more on add-ons and microtransactions than in their PlayStation 4 predecessors. In every key area, software sales, digital revenue, subscription growth, PS5 has met or exceeded PS4's performances. That's with almost all of the major titles eventually arriving elsewhere. Contrast that with the Xbox 10 years ago. Microsoft was among the first to push PC console parity, offering day-to-day releases through its Play Anywhere program. They were experimental out of the necessity. Xbox One missteps forced Microsoft to find new ways to stay competitive. They doubled down on PC integration, Steam, Game Pass on PC, cross-buy, and it's paid off in a broad audience reach. Still, Xbox lags behind PlayStation in console sales, revenue, and exclusive hits. And looking ahead to the next generation, PlayStation 6 versus whatever Xbox Series Z ends up being, what will change? And if next Xbox truly becomes a Windows software layer capable of running Steam, GOG, Epic, and more, will even Sony be attempting to block PS6 titles there? Or will they accept a landscape where console exclusivity is about broad brand experience more than lockdown software? It seems increasingly unlikely that Sony will insist on PS6 only games. Development on PS4 and PS5 has converged on similar hardware, making simultaneous builds easier. By the time PS6 arrives, studios will know how to target multiple PlayStation platforms with minimal extra work. Considering budgets increases, AAA games now cost hundreds of millions and use 8-year development cycle. It would be wasteful to limit your audience by a platform. That said, Sony might still choose 1 or 2 marquee exclusives to launch alongside the PlayStation 6, just so as they did with the PS5 at first. Those debut titles could get a PC port later, once initial console sales dried up. But the real focus would be sustaining revenue across all channels: console sales, digital storefronts, subscription services, microtransactions, and live service games. That's what investors want, and what keeps those 9-figure budgets funded. HellDivers 2 offers a good case study. Developed by Arrowhead, it becomes a surprise hit. Sony probably didn't even anticipate that level of success when they greenlit an Xbox release alongside a PS5. Now they're testing whether opening to a wider audience diminishes console sales or boosts overall revenue. If it works, we might see future live service titles, perhaps even Marvel's Tokon or a big single-player blockbuster hitting multiple platforms at launch. Yet the classic PlayStation mentality still does exist. Exclusivity often just means not on Xbox. If a game isn't on Microsoft hardware, it's exclusive, regardless of PC or Switch. That mindset could shift, but it may rely on deals case by case. HellDivers 2 experiment probably won't translate to God of War or Horizon out of the gate. Those franchises carry massive backend demand and move consoles by themselves. Sony may prefer to keep them under tight lock and key for at least a year. When we finally see PS6, the console itself must stay appealing, a plug-and-play box offering a highly optimized experience. No complex driver updates or PC hardware tinkering, just insert a disc, download the game, jump in. That simplicity remains PlayStation's biggest selling point, even if a software portfolio stretches across devices. If Sony nails performance, price point, and seamless integration with the services like PS Now and PlayStation Plus, they'll keep gamers in the ecosystem. The risks are real though. The console market isn't exactly growing. In fact, with Xbox struggling this generation, some gamers are drifting towards PC or cloud gaming services like GeForce Now and Amazon Luna. Sony can't ignore that trend. They'll need to balance extending their reach through multi-platforms releases with maintaining a strong console identity. It's a delicate dance between revenue maximization and preserving the brand loyalty. Ultimately, PlayStation's future may not hinge on locking software to hardware. Instead, it could be about offering the best overall package: a high-performance console, a robust digital library, engaging subscription perks, and top-tier first-party titles that capture hearts. Whether they launch exclusively or simultaneously elsewhere, as long as PlayStation continues delivering the complete experience, gamers will keep returning to the sofa with a controller in hand. So, what do you think though? Will Sony embrace full multi-platform launches for every big game, or will they hold back a few of those tentpoles to drive console sales first? And when PS6 and Xbox Next finally duke it out, what will exclusive even mean in that point? Let me know down in the comments below, I'd love to read it. Alright then, thank you so much for watching, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys all, and have a wonderful day.